Welcome to our inaugural College Talk Forum. We have with us today 3 seniors who have gone through much of the college process, although final decisions will be made later on in the spring. We've asked each of them today to talk a little bit about some of their experiences in the college process to help our junior parents and our juniors understand the process a little bit more fully.
My name is Ryan Eckhert and I am from Fairfield.
My name is Steve Gniadek and I am also from Fairfield.
My name is Brian Noone and I'm from Stanford.
So the question is, what have you learned in going through the college process by your experiences that you wish you had known beforehand?
In the end, everything will be fine, and you are going to get your applications in and you are going to apply. Although it may seem like it's going to be the end of the world, but those applications will get in and you will end up applying to your colleges. Also, visit schools as early as possible. Like, start in the summer, and that gives yourself more and more time to find the schools that you like and the schools that you don't like. Because when you start later in the year, you'll find yourself not having as much time, and that was something that I didn't do. I started off later, and now I'm struggling to finish visiting the schools that I want to apply to.
I would definitely say that utilizing your summers to visit schools is a great way to do it. Personally, both my sophomore and junior year, I visited all of my schools, and it just helped me narrow down my list so much. Just another personal thing that I found very important was supplemental essays. I kind of just put them off till the end because I thought I would be able to just, get all the bigger stuff like the Common App and my main college essay done, and then I could just kind of do the supplementals in a short amount of time. But those do take time, so if you do have any supplementals, you definitely are going to want to try to space out your work more.
These guys kind of took most of my points, but I definitely agree. Although everyone's experience is going to be unique, everyone is stressing about them, so you really have to relax and understand that everything's going to be fine and really take your time and make sure that you're putting your best foot forward on all fronts, not only in the Common App, but also in the classroom, in extracurriculars, in service.
Based on your experiences, what advice would you give to juniors now entering the active steps in the process?
The main piece of advice I would give you is to utilize your teachers. My teachers have been great assets, specifically with my essays. They've been great resources with, just grammar work and even trying to develop major themes on my papers. Obviously using your guidance counselors. I can't remember how many times I just stopped in and asked a quick question about something, either about my application or about a certain school. Just one other thing is grades your senior year. I know it's a little bit further on than where you are right now, but they do count, and they're always asking for them. And especially if you get, say, deferred from a school, it's very important to see your first semester grades.
I would really recommend increasing your workload senior year. When you're a senior, you have a lot more elective opportunities where you can kind of take courses that aren't as challenging. For example, you could take an AP course in language, or you could take creative writing. Unless you really enjoy creative writing, colleges are really going to like to see that AP course, that you're really challenging yourselves in your final year. I'd also say get a tutor for taking the ACT or the SAT. It just really helps because there are just so many kind of little hints and tips that you can use on both of those standardized tests that can really set you above kind of the middle baseline and really just make you more attractive to the prospective colleges you're applying to.
What advice would you give to parents of juniors as they support their sons based on your experiences?
Visit every single college that you're interested in. A lot of it depends on how I see myself at the school and how I fit in and how it feels to me. You may be going and visiting a school and thinking oh, my mom just put this on, the college road trip, but you may end up really liking that school. And that's exactly what happened to me with Denison, because we were visiting schools in Ohio and I ended up loving it, and I'm applying to it today.
What resources have you found helpful in moving productively through the process?
My junior English teacher and my current senior English teacher were both crucial to forming my main college essay and supplemental essays. You can get different perspectives, different expertise. It was really just helpful to have an open dialogue with them. And it doesn't always have to be in person, which obviously is preferred, but towards the end, when I just wanted a quick little tip, I even just emailed an essay, and they're always more than willing to go over it, and they can even just email it right back to you. Another thing that I found really helpful was Naviance, and particularly when I was forming my college list. I know that's a big topic, especially when I was in junior year, about what's your list, like what colleges are you going to apply to, and just kind of spending some time on that website helped me at least narrow down what schools I want to visit so that I know what I'll be interested in.
Definitely one of the biggest things I used was the access to the college reps that come to the school. I went to a lot of them. They're very good meetings. You get to learn a lot from the college, and you can say after, get to know the person, the rep from the school, and it creates more of like a personal bond with the school. One thing I didn't utilize, but I would definitely encourage you to utilize, is the interviews that go on at prep as well as at campuses. So when you go to campus, try to schedule an interview or schedule an interview when the people come to prep, because a lot of schools hold that in high regard.
Really utilize the guidance department, and then it's their job. They talk to all the admissions people at colleges, and they really understand what's best for you to get into the college you want to get into. And they really help you on all fronts. For example, I did a mock interview with Mr. Hanrahan. Also, the guidance department really gives you great advice on whether to go early action or regular decision, like what's a better admissions route, what's better for your senior year course load, whether you should retake the ACT or take the SAT for the first time. Just really, they understand what's best for you to succeed.
What was a major factor that contributed to your decision as to where to apply?
The freshman year retention rate, because I didn't want to go to a school that, you know, almost had a history of just not being what freshman year students expected.
My biggest major factor was actually what I found out that I wanted versus what I thought I wanted when I first started visiting colleges. I anticipated that I would have wanted a really small school, like a couple thousand, but after visiting some larger schools and even just medium-sized schools, I found that for me the resources that a large school provided was really favorable, and it was nothing that I would have expected if you asked me sophomore year.
So how did you demonstrate your interest into the colleges in which you applied?
Meeting in those college meetings that Ryan mentioned, and just talking personally after the meeting with the counselor, and even taking down an email. That's one thing that I wish I utilized more, was just sending quick emails to my, like New England regional counselor, because those are the people who are actually going to be reviewing your application themselves.
One thing I did was when I visited my schools, I just go to the admissions office and kind of just start talking to someone, let them know my name and where I'm from and like my high school and general information like that, just so that they can know who I am, as well as like they can take my name down, and I'll let them know that I was there and I really enjoyed the school. That shows that I really care.
Yeah, just one more additional thing that I thought of, shadow days. A lot of colleges offer shadow days where you can actually walk around with a current student of the school, and that not only shows your interest, but it can also help you determine what your interests are. So